from art. It expresses me in ways that I can't myself express, especially when I'm behind the text. I become this whole, I zone out and become this whole new person. For me, it just becomes the people in front of me and to please, and pleasing them as being type of creative almost.
Sharp enough to cut the tension. Pressure is coming out, something which I forgot to mention. I'm a bad man in the mirror. Michael Jackson, I have been making this money. It's time to cash in the gym.
Now you want people to visualize what you're trying to express, and it's never easy to kind of cross that barrier or move into that dimension where another person you might have never met before in your life actually sees the same things you saw when you were going through that creative process of writing that song.
Art to me is an expression of creativity. I think passion plays the most important role in being a successful musician.
If you're happy, you can make happy tracks. If you're underground, you can, because we all have different moods, like every day, you know.
DJing expresses me in a whole different way. I'm a different person than behind the text, and I'm a different person than standing up behind the text.
In art, of course it's an art. I mean, it's one of the 4 elements of hip-hop, which is obviously graffiti, dance, rap, and obviously DJing is the 4th one. So that obviously explains, obviously, as graffiti being an art, just shows that the other 3 art forms, which is obviously dance, MC, and obviously DJing becoming an art form as well. So yeah, I would consider it as an art.
Music is an art that makes me complete.
Everyone is an artist and there's art everywhere, we just don't recognize it.
I think arts can be a form of communication, whether you're communicating an emotion, an idea, a philosophy. I mean, it can be used to change politics, you can convey political ideas, so I think it's mainly a form of communication.
Yeah, art's everywhere. Like everywhere, look, everything is art.
His name is art.
You have to start appreciating it. You just have to look out for it and you'll find it.
Africa, Africa, Africa. Africa, Africa, Africa.
And what I find about art is that what it does to me is there's an intrinsic desire to create. And that creation, it's a novel way of expressing yourself, it's a novel way of seeing the world, it's a novel way of understanding yourself and communicating yourself to others.
Art is something you can appreciate, something that makes you think, and something that shows the artist's intention, like what he wants you to know.
Well, it is about, let me say, it is me trying to tell a story, trying to leave certain things for, should I say, the next generation to understand how we, as at this time, dealt with issues or what issues had been affecting us.
In terms of modern society, I think throughout history of art has played a very important role in reflecting society for the society to understand itself, both in culture and in heritage.
Art to me is a form of self-expression, but it's also a skill and a lifestyle and just really a way to live your life creatively.
Definitely expression, I would say. Yeah, like, if there's emotions, things you battle to deal with, things you go through in life, it serves almost like meditation or, yeah, like a therapy basically. Art can serve as therapy. So I would say definitely expression. Career is just an extra. like if I don't make money out of art, then it doesn't bug me.
It's a means of doing something with my creativity. Like I need something to feed my mind.
Art again opens windows into history. It creates a platform for dialogue that can go from religion to economics to sciences. So without art, we will lose that important that important angle that will allow us to to debate or to share other ideas or dreams.
This here is an image of a child in Indonesia who works 23-hour days and gets paid $3 a week.
So I try to address social political issues and gender roles, domestic violence, corruption, basically everything that affects that affects art, that affects our communities.
There's a distinction between high art and low art, but it's not the same as European art and South African art. People may think like township art or African art is low, but that's just because that's their opinion. It's not, all art is art. There's no high or low, it's just from the viewpoint. Like Europeans might think that craft is low art, but to the people who make it, it's the expression of what they are.
The difference between African art and European art, they don't have nice wood art, and then they also they don't concentrate on these crafts, they concentrate on sculptures, carving stones.
A lot of them appreciate art the way we do, the artists, but that's also natural because not everyone likes certain stuff.
Pros and cons in this new age, you can find a lot because compared to back in the age during the Renaissance, people used to appreciate artists, used to appreciate poets.
So, as an artist, when you decide to pursue that path, you have to understand that it is not like working in a bank, they pay you every month. But if it happens like that, good for you. But the fact, just know that art is a very different, it's a high-end luxury market. So, it appeals to very few people. So, the money, will not come, as often as you might want.
It used to be a big thing. It used to be a career back then. But now it's as if people are more apathetic about music and art and paintings and such. People of that nature are not appreciated as much. You can't have a fully fledged career in this day and age. People don't appreciate it as much as they used to.
The level to get accepted is way too low. The pass rate is too low. I mean, they should have it really high. So if you don't make it, it's too bad. You try again. Second of all, it's way too much like here's the brief and just do whatever. There's no guidance. In the old days, it was classical training. You had a set schedule, like life drawing. You had still life.
It's like the academies.
Yeah, the academies.
That teach you something.
Yeah, all the great artists had that background. And then from that they base their own views, whereas we are just...
It takes not to strain on you, trying to create new things, right?
They need a lot of support. In the first, let me just say they need a lot of support for an individual who wants to pursue art. It takes a lot of time, it takes dedication. You might, only 1 or 2, let me say 5% of artists blow it up, like in the first 5 years or 10 years of their practice.
Being an art educator myself, having taught for the last, many years, I taught about 16 years both in secondary school and tertiary education, I found that the development of art will be based entirely on secondary and primary education. The way forward is to introduce art into schools and then developing it through to tertiary institutions.
I think number one, education. Whether it's Africa or South Africa, bottom line is education. We have to bring that back into kindergarten, primary school, high school, before the university. So if we do that, whether they are artists or not, they are aware, of that. So once the populace are educated regarding art, it makes it easier for the essence, the importance, and the value of art to grow.
Art, first of all, he has to love what he's going to do. You understand? Art is something which you have to love first, and if you love it, concentrate on it. After you concentrate on it, then you come up with the art. Art is very different. Art is a simple thing to make. The only thing which it requires is only concentration. If you concentrate on what you want, it can come up. Try it the first time, the second time, then the third time, it will come up the way you want it.
So I think art is, in terms of South Africa, is very, very young. It's not understood by a lot of people, but I think we're on a good mark.
So without a master designer or creator, we would have probably look at space. We have to go live in space, like what they're proposing, for example. Space for now is a dead, like a flat. So we have to go there. If we don't bring creativity, or if we don't create something, it's not going to, you won't even want to live there because it's just a flat, normal, boring space. So without art,
Africa.